For today's Elden lore, we wanted to tackle not just a character, but a certain creature's representation throughout Elden Ring. We've seen some animals, such as wolves, have deeper ties to the Empyreans, such as Blythe being given to Ranni and Malekith being given to Marika. Even Radagon had a red wolf of his own, capable of using glintstone sorcery that he left with Rennala. These wolves act as protectors in one capacity or another, creating a theme to their involvement in the lands between. But there's another type of animal we often see in the game that seems to have ties to a time even before the Erd Tree. We're talking, of course, about dogs. Wait, no, sorry, turtles. We're talking about turtles. Today we're going to learn what we can about how turtles are represented in the lands between. From the smallest spirits to the turtle pope themselves, Miriel, pastor of Vows. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed any of our lore content so you don't miss out on our next episode. Now let's see what the turtles can reveal to us about the past of the lands between. First, it's important to mention the turtles we find as general wildlife across the land. Upon killing them, we can receive turtle neck meat, which is described as a splendid lengthy cut of turtle neck meat, material used for crafting items, considered an especially nutritious ingredient in the south of the lands between. However, in the game's beta there was additional context stating, turtle meat is said to boost virility, but none in the lands between seem to have much appetite for it these days. In the lands between, the urge to reproduce has waned long ago. It sounds as if turtlenecks were used as a sort of aphrodisiac in the time before the Erd Tree. We feel confident in saying this was during a time before the Erd Tree because of the line, "The urge to reproduce has waned long ago." It shows us how the land has stagnated. People are not born through natural means in this world as we find it. Their souls are consumed by the Erd Tree in a cycle of rebirth that ensures nothing stays dead for long. In this world of stagnation, there is no need for reproduction. However, that doesn't mean that the people of the lands between had no use for turtleneck meat at all. We can craft pickled turtleneck meat, which increases the rate at which we recover stamina. The item description reads, "Turtleneck meat pickled in a bitter medicinal solution temporarily boosts stamina recovery. The nutrients churn through the body, practically boiling out endless power." So rather than utilize turtleneck meat for its original purpose, the denizens of the lands between have found a way to utilize that boost in stamina to aid them in battle. This is what turtles are reduced to in the current landscape. They are nothing more than a source of meat to help soldiers stay in the fight longer than they otherwise would. But it's clear that at some point, these animals were also seen as wise and were perhaps more revered for their intelligence. In a few different areas of the world we find magically sealed towers, Kellen's Rise, Testu's Rise, and Eridius' Rise. Each tower is protected by a barrier that can only be broken by seeking 3 wise beasts. With this in mind, we set out to find these beasts and learn that they are spectral turtles that must be attacked in order to open the way forward. Once we can enter these rises, we receive a magical prize associated with the Carian royal family and Raya Lucaria. From 2 areas, we receive memory stones, and in another, we find the spell, Ranni's Dark Moon. This tells us that not only did the sorcerers of Raya Lucaria once hold the intelligence of turtles in high regard, but Ranni herself respected them enough to create these spectral turtles to protect a spell taught to her by her own mother, Queen Rennala. We can also see this association with the turtle talisman. A talisman in the shape of a green turtle raises stamina recovery speed. Turtles are known as a nutritious ingredient, symbolic of inexhaustible power. However, those who hold turtles to be wise creatures consider the practice of eating their meat to be barbarous. So while others saw turtles as a source of nutrition and strength, clearly the Carians who saw the intelligence of these animals saw the rest of the land as barbarous, killing and eating creatures deserving of respect. This assertion is bolstered by the sheer number of turtles we can find surrounding Kellen's Rise and across the Moonlight Altar. The question then becomes, where does the Carian association with turtles come from? And for that answer, we need only look to everyone's favorite turtle pope, Miriel, pastor of Vows. Miriel is found in the Church of Vows residing over this sacred place, and upon talking to them, they begin to unfold the story of the church.
You're tarnished, aren't you? I welcome you to the Church of Vows. I am Miriel, steward of this sacred chamber. My apologies for the unseemly state of affairs. Do you know the origin of this place? How it came to be known as the Church of Vows? Well, that is a shame. But who can blame you? The shattering has caused us, all of us, to lose sight of something very dear. It is here, at the Church of Vows, that the great houses of the Erd Tree and the Moon were joined by the matrimonial bond between red-haired Radagon and Renala of the Full Moon. And so our church holds in view the monuments of both houses, the Erd Tree of the capital and the Academy of Rea Lucaria.
After further interactions with Miriel, different dialogue options open up, where they can tell you all about the history of Radagon and Renala.
Wish to know more of Lord Radagon. Lord Radagon was a great champion, possessed of flowing red locks. He came to these lands at the head of a great golden host. When he met Lady Renala in battle, he soon repented his territorial aggressions there, and became husband to the Carian queen. However, when Godfrey, first Elden Lord, was hounded from the lands between, Radagon left Renala to return to the Erd Tree capital, becoming Queen Marika's second husband and king consort, taking the title of Second Elden Lord. The mystery endures to this day as to why Lord Radagon would cast Lady Renala aside, and moreover, why a mere champion would be chosen for the seat of Elden Lord. You know, it's said that Lord Radagon harbored a secret. A famed sculptor of the Erd Tree capital was once summoned to render Lord Radagon's likeness in giant stature, when he glimpsed the skeleton in Radagon's closet. And as such, it's said the great statue harbors his secret too.
Clearly, Miriel is the keeper of truths long since forgotten or ignored, and poses questions that we theorize they already know the answer to. Based on what Miriel tells us, we believe that Radagon was split off from Marika for the express purpose of doing battle with Renala. If this is the case, it means that Marika, after seeing Radagon do battle with Renala, saw a marriage between the two as the best possible way to solidify her power in the lands between. We can learn more about the past from Miriel if we ask about Lady Renala.
I wish to know more of Lady Renala. She is queen, head of the Carian royal family, and governor of the Academy of Rea Lucaria, the great and beautiful full moon witch. Sadly, her heart was broken when Lord Radagon left her, and then, when the Academy rebelled against the royals, she was locked away in the Grand Library. In the end, Lady Renala was left alone, cradling the amber egg Lord Radagon bequeathed her. Now she devotes herself to it through forbidden rite, the grim art of reincarnation. You would do well to remember, severing a vow, strongest of bonds, has consequences ever more dire.
With the knowledge bestowed to us about Radagon and our own theory in tow, it seems as though it may have been Marika's plan all along to have Renala become reliant on her new husband, just to call him away from her, leaving the amber egg, knowing it would drive Renala's obsession, and removing the Carian royal family's claim to power in the lands between, by driving its matriarch mad. If we happen to be carrying any celestial dew, Miriel reveals the power of the Church of Vows to us.
Possess any celestial dew, then I would like to share my knowledge with you concerning the miracle of this Church of Vows. Radagon once cleansed himself with celestial dew, repented his territorial aggressions, and swore his love to Renala. The Order of the Erd Tree and the fate of the moon were conjoined, and all the wounds of war forgiven. This miracle blesses the Church to this day, and so you need only follow Radagon's example to restore any bond, however strained or severed, to its rightful state of harmony.
With the power of Do, we can reverse any antagonizations we've had against NPCs throughout Elden Ring. While it can't restore the dead, it can repair any relationship. To us, Miriel's explanation of Radagon cleansing himself and swearing his love to Rennala makes it seem as though not only was Miriel there when it happened, but may have even officiated their wedding ceremony. This raises yet another question. Why would Radagon leave Rennala without again cleansing himself in the Celestial Dew? If it had the power to repair their relationship, why not utilize this? We believe that he and Marika made a conscious decision not to do this, in order to ensure Rennala was driven mad by the Amber Egg, the repercussions of a vow broken. We've spent some time going over the story of Radagon and Rennala, and gotten away from Miriel a bit, but we believe their first-hand knowledge of these events is important to showing why turtles are seen by the Carians as wise. One such as Miriel, who has lived a life so long we could scarcely guess their age, holds so many secrets and has experienced so much of the history that we, as Tarnished, can only feebly piece together through the clues we find in the world. While we can't determine how old Miriel may be, we believe that their attitude towards the various magics of the world speak to their incredible age.
Oh, was there something you needed? You are free to show yourself around. I would serve as your guide, only my legs aren't what they used to be. If you find anything of use, you are free to take it with you. Unless, perhaps, you are in search of instruction, in which case I will share all that I know.
We are then able to present them with any book of magic or scroll that we find, and they tell us,
"What have we here? Very well, let us both learn together. Heresy is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance. All things can be conjoined."
Miriel sees no form of magic or learning as heretical. In the eyes of this ancient turtle, neither the Carians nor the Golden Order are antithetical to each other. Miriel has likely seen ages pass attending to the Church of Vows. They have seen leaders come and go, and believe through their vast experience that there is no such thing as heresy. No matter where one pulls their knowledge from, it can exist alongside universal truths and knowledge uncovered by others. Perhaps this is why turtles are considered so wise. They can trace their roots back to a time before the Lands Between was in this sorry state, and they see a truth no others can. That these forces need not stand against each other. All things can be conjoined. In other words, they are all very good dogs. Interestingly, Miriel believes that the power of Celestial Dew can somehow heal the world. And it's a shame that we don't get to pursue an ending in Elden Ring where their dream comes to fruition. Miriel can tell us,
Faith does not waver. The miracle rooted in these grounds will once again mend the world. And this time, its bounty will not be squandered. If you would be Elden Lord, Tarnished, I hope that you too will share my faith.
They specifically ask our Tarnished to remember these practices should we take the throne, but we're never really given the opportunity. Perhaps this is an avenue for future DLC, where the Lands Between can be set right by the wisdom of the turtles. In the end, it seems the turtles may once have been more than simple animals, hunted for their flesh in order to stir virility in those who eat them. Perhaps there were once many more like Miriel, spreading truth and knowledge through the lands. Maybe the walking mausoleums themselves are the remains of once great turtles, now gutted and used as magical constructs to protect the remains of unknown demigods. Unfortunately, there's no way to know for sure without additional context that we'll likely never receive in the future. We hope you enjoyed this look at the history of turtles in the Lands Between. Are you the person who wrote the first Behold Dog message in Elden Ring? If so, please reach out. We'd love to interview you. Leave a comment with your thoughts on Turtle Pope and the history of Radagon and Renala. Like and subscribe if you liked our analysis, and please come back for our 50th episode, where we'll be revisiting the enemies that helped our channel find its feet and start growing into what we are now, the Crucible Knights. We look forward to seeing you again for more Elden Lore.